Well, welcome back, my friends, to another rousing rendition of Choir Boys Outdoors, surviving to death. Man, survival has become a big money business, hasn't it? You see it, you can type it in on YouTube, and man, you see a bunch of videos, a bunch of great videos, right? They're by guys who know what they're doing, for the most part, either ex-military or lifelong outdoor enthusiasts or guys who's really studied the outdoors. And they get out there, man, and they make it look easy. They make it look so easy, in fact, that folks go out now all the time and they don't make it in, or they have to be rescued, and it ties up a bunch of valuable resources because they made the mistake of thinking, I got this, I saw it on YouTube. We just saw a young man, 22 years old, his name was Storm. He was a Belgian YouTuber. He was trying to hike across the Swedish Lapland, and he was in it pretty good when the weather turned on him. He was able to send some messages out, some very distressing messages, and unfortunately, he never made it across. They found the young man not far from his campsite, which, by the way, I think he only had a tarp with him. When they found him, his feet and legs were frozen. He had busted his nose. And I'm not throwing shade at this kid, man. It broke my heart because he was out there doing something that he loved to do. He was learning. He just got out of his depth. He panicked, like a lot of folks would, like I probably would. And that's the point of this series that I'm going to do. Could you survive? The first video in the series is surviving to death. We're not going to be here long. I want to explain to you what I want to accomplish with this video. I'm asking JJ Morris, Blackie Thomas, Mike Simmons, some other guys to be watching some of these videos, to pop in with info, to jump in where they can. I want to make this a collaborative effort. I'm going to be tagging a lot of channels that I like, that I watch. One, yes, is to bring in their subscriber base. Absolutely. I'm not going to deny that. Is it clicks and views? It is, but it's clicks and views in a learning sense. And let me tell you what I want to do. I want, by the end of this series, to be able to take my ass out, camp out overnight with bare minimum gear. Now you say, Scab, that's not survival. Okay, it's a start though. This is going to be a learning experience, what to do and what not to do. I love Survival Dispatch. That is JJ Morris. I love his videos. I love Blackie Thomas's videos. They both have great info breaking it down. What I want these videos to be is giving you information from a novice's standpoint. So for you guys who do this and know what you're doing, feel free to comment, feel free to jump in. All comments are welcome. First thing I want to cover with this first topic is this: preparing to go into the woods, preparing for the situation, whether it's a day hike, whether it's an overnight camp, whether it's kayaking, a hunting trip, a long-term camping trip, whatever it is. I want to cover some things with you. What I do want to do as well is build a basic pack, a basic kit that's under a couple of pounds that somebody could put together. I'm not selling anything. This ain't the damn QVC. It's not a gimmick. I want us to come up with some real resources to be able to hand to you, or give you the info to go get them yourself, and put something together that's comprehensive so that if you are in a situation, say you get run off the road in black ice, we've got some very bad weather coming, you're stuck in your car for a day or two, you're out in the woods and you get separated from your group, whatever the situation, we're going to call it like 24 to 48 hour survival. Put a complete thing together and help everybody out, myself included. What I've done is I've just got some basic stuff on the table. I've got a haversack. Big shout out to Kirk. At the end of this, I want to have a complete haversack with your help. I'm not asking you to send stuff. I'm just saying information-wise, put in the comments. Let me show you what I got in here. And it's not organized, but that's just me. For sake of the video, I've got some bank line, and I have some paracord, 5150 or 50, whatever the hell it is, paracord, bank line. I've got a compass. Very basic compass. Show you that. Magnifying glass, the whole nine. Now, I'll be the first to tell you, I am not the most experienced with it. I can finagle it enough to tell you north and south. We're not going to try it in here because I'm surrounded by stuff that would draw it off. I have a backup knife. Now, I just threw this in there. This is that little $5 fixed blade from Walmart. The reason I'm throwing something like this in there is for the simple fact, being a knife channel, I'm going to have a belt knife on me, and I'm not saying this is the specific one, but I'd have something like the Gray Man, which is a Kephart style design. It was designed by some of the guys from Fuel the Fires, made by WC Knives, William Collins. Great knife. I love this knife. I've got Field Lore. Big shout out to Chris Hall for gifting me this again, a William Collins knife and design. So I'm going to carry my primary knives on me. But the goal is to fill up the bag, right? So what do we need? Well, we know we're going to need some shelter. I've got the One Win, One Man shelter. I'm not recommending this, guys. Please understand that. I'm just telling you what I have, what we're starting with. I've done a video on this. So I've got the One Win shelter. I got a drop cloth. Remember, too, I'm in Northeast Florida. Cold here is different cold from where you're at, right? But I've got this drop cloth. Throw something to separate me from the ground, or it could come in as some kind of light tarp. Probably not the greatest. The One Win thing, I can fit in this. I can set it up. We're going to be doing that in the next few weeks again. So I got that in there. Let me put this stuff in there as we go. And then I've got the all-important, ever-important Mylar blanket. If you don't know shit else about survival, you know you got to have a Mylar blanket. Some of this is going to be tongue-in-cheek. One thing I do believe in is some kind of Swiss Army knife. It's got some different tools on it. This is the Outrider. I've got a pry bar from Colonial Knives on it. Whatever you take, If you think a multi-tool's better, put it in the comments. I want this to be a very, very interactive video. For my fire kit, I have some fat wood, light or not, whatever you want to call it. I have some shavings, thanks to Miss Allie. She sent a dip can full of shavings taped up. I have a big lighter. We got that in there. We have a magnifying glass on our compass if we need it. I've got a small ferro rod, more light or not in there. So I've got those things in there, and I've got some handmade, homemade fire starters in here that I got, I believe, from my guy John Pinkerton. We'll just leave them in there. They work good. I'll be showing you those over the next couple weeks. So that's basically what I got. Do we add a flashlight? I think we should. I don't care what brand, but I think that should happen. I believe we should have a knife sharpener. It's just kind of what I'm thinking. If I'm wrong, tell me. I know you will. Let me ask y'all something too. I know we've got to have some kind of water, whether it's a water filtration system, which I have, a very basic one. You just fill it up, hang it up, it's got the tube. But I do think you should always leave with some water. I think that's important, especially if you weren't like some kind of SEAL Team Delta 6 operator and know all this shit by heart. If you're like me, a guy that just loved playing in the woods growing up, carry some shit that'll save your life. I mean, we'll learn some things, but at the same time, I think we need to make sure we have basic necessities. I think we need to make sure that when we start out on this trek, we don't shoot ourselves in the foot just from being hard-hit. I'll find it while I'm out there. Well, what if you don't? I'm not saying a lot. And listen, somebody's going to say, ounces is weight, weight is pounds, pounds is pound, all that stuff. I get it. I do. I really do. But I think maybe if you take a filtration system, what if you took an empty bottle? That's something I want to discuss coming up. We don't have to cover everything here. But one thing I did want to ask y'all about, Donald Mike Gideon, DMG, my good friend from the West Wind, and I totally should have put that together before I walked out. What do y'all think about carrying a slingshot, right? Maybe some extra bands. It's not a lot of weight. It's not a lot of space. I wouldn't carry something this big. It's got clay. I'd obviously carry some steel. Probably not a lot because that would add up in weight. But what do y'all think? And I've got probably 10 slingshots, so I would pick a good slingshot out. What do y'all think about that? Tell me some things we're missing. I've got this Kalinko tarp. It's used to go over hammock camping. Do we need a tarp in there? The other side is, how much weight do we want to carry? What are we doing? That's the thing. We got to design or define what survival is. And the problem arises here. We could talk round and 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 round about every situation. Region is going to make a difference. What you're doing is going to make a difference. Where you're at, the temperature, the time of year, there are a billion factors we're going to have to discuss. There is not one solution, but what I want to eliminate And what I want to make sure we do is do some thought-provoking things before you ever head out into the woods. Even if it's just to go out to camp overnight. I want people to stop. I want people to think. I want people to understand what they're getting into. That's why we're doing this, right? I'm going to do a couple of overnights. I'm going to carry some basic stuff. I can tell you this, I'm not going to be far from here. And if I fail, I fail. We'll have it on camera. I'm not scared to fail. I never have been. I'd rather fail doing a YouTube video than be out somewhere in a real situation and fail, because normally if I'm camping or if I'm doing something, I have my grandsons with me or my nephew with me. Failure there is catastrophic, not for me, but for people I love. That's why we're going to have fun with this series, but we're going to take it somewhat seriously. There'll always be some fun stuff. You can't be super serial all the time. You can't do it. We're going to have some fun, but we're going to do it with the understanding the end goal is to be prepared. I think I've talked in a circle enough. I hope I've made clear what I want to accomplish. What I'd like to accomplish is have a comprehensive kit that I could take anywhere at any time, where I could at least make 24 to 48 hours. I would like to discuss some of the different stuff that we're going to have in said kit. I want to go over whether it's a folding saw. Big shout out to Peterbilt Knife Guy. Should we carry this? Should we carry some kind of small shovel that can double as an axe? These are all things I want to cover. I know here's what people say, well, Scab, it's just too big. Well, then this is probably not the series to watch. I'm not going to stop doing it because people don't think it can be done. I don't operate that way. I haven't built this channel that way. So we're going to go through. Now, this is going to be based a lot on response. I'm going to tag a lot of channels. If I tagged your channel, I watch you frequently. I would like your input. Again, yes, I'm trying to get clicks and views because, yes, I want to raise awareness. Having said that, let me wrap it up with this, what I do with every single video. Guys, there was a time in this country, I just talked about it today with a veteran, where 22 veterans today took their own lives. That number is really anywhere from 15 to 35. It is. We're headed into the weekend. It's going to be higher. What can we do other than raise awareness? Man, I don't know. But what I do want you to know is if you are a veteran, you are welcome here and we love you. It's not I'm not a veteran. I don't pretend to be, right? I have people around me that I care about deeply. So veterans causes are on my heart. We're not looking for anything from you. You can watch an idiot run around in camp and play with a knife. I'm the idiot. I back the blue. It's not going to be popular, and a lot of you are going, nope, I ain't doing it. Listen, I'm not asking you to. I have my own reasons. The whole back the blue before it happens to you. It's happened to me more than it'll ever probably happen to you. You can take a good look at me. It's not exactly what you think, but I'm not going to take every video to explain it. Just know this. It's something I believe in. I believe in it strongly, but I'm not going to shove it down your throat. Matter of fact, it's the only time during the video you'll hear it. Finally, if you are an addict, and I am, I don't run from that. I don't hide from that. If you have a problem with that, this is not the channel for you. But if you're an addict, never quit quitting. Well, I'm Scab. I'm looking forward to this. I know it's a little disjointed. It was designed to be. I wanted to get my thoughts out there. I'm looking forward to a lot of your input and a lot of your participation. Next Saturday, we're going to talk about some clothes, and supplies for a day hike. I'm Scab. You're not. And I'm gone, son. Could you survive? You will be able to after old Scabber's course. Be like a damn Green Beret, son, in the world of Green Berets. Love y'all.